essentially if you talk about DRR, disaster risk reduction, that does not mean anything to a farmer on the ground or a fisherman on the sea, or even a cultivar, a woman on her cooking stove. So, if we say that you see this is your farmland, it is going to be dried, it is going to have little water or it will be inundated, then the farmer would think or say the crop yield is going to be less and less. If you tell the say women in the community that your community is going to be inundated more frequently, more intensely because of the climatic changes, because of other disasters, you are struck. Or say fishermen, you can allow that if there are sea roughness growing up, then you are going to be at the coast, at the say river bank, so that you are not hit, you are not stuck in a disaster. So, that way we have to create awareness on the ground, so that the community people, local people, the farmers, they know how to cope with the disasters.
So you have been working for years now globally with the countries most at risk, and you've been going on the ground and talking
on the
to
ground,
them.
say countries after countries, least developed countries in the Asia, Africa, Latin America, even Arab regions, they are so vulnerable, the communities are so vulnerable, they simply can't cope with the say more disasters are striking. Right now we have seen that in Indonesia there is say tsunami, in say Bangladesh Indian coast there is a hurricane, cyclone, in say US coast, east coast, southeast coast, Florida there is hurricane. So, these are nowadays a common phenomena. Even say 30 years back, 40 years back, 50 years back, there are more less disasters, but nowadays there are more intense and frequent disasters, and the cost of disasters are going up and up. So, we need more resilient building, more awareness, more planning, more strategy, but with participation of the local communities, with participation of the local bodies, with participation of the community people, so that they own it. And also not only at the sub-national level, national level, but also sub-regional level and regional level, we need more awareness, more planning and also more implementation. Because without implementation, means of implementation, whatever plan, DRR plan we have, Sendai is not going to deliver goods on the ground. To take DRR onto the ground, onto the community level, you need means of implementation, you need more investment, you need more private sector involvement, you need more community involvement, you need more partnership, more collaboration, more community development programs, and also we need to say raise de-link say our efforts with that of say community resilience, because to build community resilience we need to invest, and also we need to plan it into our national development plan, 5-year plan, annual development plan, and also annual budget cycle. So that DRR is anchored in annual budget cycle, in our annual development plan, in our 5-year plan of very many countries, of the least developed ones, developing countries. If we can ensure that, then only we can improve our resilience, we can build our resilience. We can create awareness and also sensitize people, so that there are more casualties in the face of more disasters, there are more economic losses, there are more non-economic losses. We can cut back those economic and non-economic losses, and also we can cut back risks of say disasters.
Now, if we talk about national budgets to help with this, how many in the regions, the two regions that we're looking at here, Arab and African regions, how many countries actually have this in their budgets, and are they sufficiently budgeted?
Very few have anchored it in our national budgets, because you see, say national budget formulation process does not take care of this, but we need to incorporate in our national budget, so that in our national budget there are block allocations, there are sectoral allocations. Say if we want to address climate change, there are some climatic budget, some countries, but not all countries. There are some budget in agriculture, because agriculture is hardly hitting in every disaster, in especially floods, droughts, then agriculture is on the forefront. So, in agriculture budget there should be disaster risk reduction budget. There should be budget for our water resource management, so that because water is another entry point. So, water resource budget allocation should have some DRR aspects. Then also say livelihood, because in most of the disaster cases we see that lot of people lose their livelihoods. So, we have to compensate livelihoods. That budget should be anchored in our national budget. Of course, international support will be there, regional support or sub-regional support can be channeled, and that should be ensured through national budget, through national annual development program, through national say 5-year plan or 10-year plan cycle. So that all these countries, especially Arab countries, African countries, most vulnerable countries, can rescue the people. Even at times, you remember the Mozambique flood of 2012, even women had to give birth on a tree. So, we have to rescue those people from the trees.